Hi and welcome back to Makeup440plus. I'm still alive, I'm here and I'm back for the new year. I am so sorry for my absence. I've been doing basically for 80 plus hour weeks, 7 days a week, haven't had weekends off, just been absolutely flat out crazy. So I haven't done a video in quite a while, so please forgive me for my rustiness. I'm just going to do basically a full face of makeup, but I'm going to split it up into a number of different videos, and I found that I had a whole heap of videos that I pre-taped, so I'll talk about them probably in another video, but they'll all be coming up for you to see as well. So just bear with me for a minute and I will zoom you in. And once again, I've got this reflection which I can never ever figure out where it's coming from, but I'll just zoom you if I can remember how to use my camera, and I'll just show you. I put a post up of this eye look. It was a little more subtle yesterday, and had people asking me to do a tutorial. So it's basically like a cut crease with quite a deep V colour in the outside. So I've done it a little more intensely today because I'm wearing blue and I want to do like a day to night look on it. So I think that's zoomed in close enough that you're not going to miss anything when I look into the mirror and do stuff and duck down and all those horrid things I do when I go out of view. So I'm going to be using one of my favourite eye primers at the moment, which is the Kat Von D, what's it called exactly? The Kat Von D High Voltage Eye Primer. This one is, yeah, it's the primer and corrector. Just love it. It just is like concrete for your eyeshadow. They just don't budge, and it is over 38 degrees Celsius here today, so it is very, very hot. Now I'm going to apply that and I'm going to take it right up to my eyebrow, and what's left on my finger I'm just going to run under my lid just to catch a bit of shadow there. So once I've got that down, now what I decided to do today, being that there's so many palettes and colours out there, I thought I'd use Wet n Wild shadows just because they're widely available. I can't speak. Here we go. So they're widely available, and basically you can use these as a basis. So, and what I'm doing you can do with absolutely any colours, so you can switch it up and use any colour scheme you like, but I happen to have like a blue on today, so I thought I would do a blue eye to go with it. So let's get started. So I've got, this one is the Blue Had Me at Hello, and I'm going to use this brow shade here, the eyelid shade. I'm going to use this colour here quite a bit for the crease, and this colour here also right at the end. So the other thing I'm going to be using is a eyeliner pencil. This one is, what is it called? I don't know if I'm reading it upside down. No, can't see, no glasses. My eyesight apparently has got a lot worse. There you go. I couldn't pronounce it even if I could see it by the looks of that. So it's one of the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. So I am just going to take a short, stiff shader brush. Yes, I caved. I haven't had a chance to do a haul yet, but this is one of the Sigma. This is the Colour Payoff brushes that I ended up buying. So this is the E59. And excuse my wind charm because there's a bit of a breeze. So I'm going to go in first of all with this eyelid shade on one side of the brush, and I'm just literally going to, move my mirror a little. I am just going to, and I'll move the camera too, I'm way out of practice, can you tell? There you go, that way when I go in you can see. So I'm going to really pack this on the lid, as you can see on the other eye, so that it's really nice and intense. So this is a beautiful silvery blue colour. So I like doing this eye look with a shimmery pop of colour on the lid so that it's really intense and stands out from the crease and the corner. You can go for a matte shade, of course, any colour scheme that you like. You know, like this has actually been my go-to look for probably over a week now. I just keep coming back to this look. So I'm just going to flip the brush over and I'm going to go into this white brow shade. I'm just going to gently apply that to my brow. I'm going to go back in later and blend it, but I just want that in there at the moment for blending the other colours out as I go in. And I'm just going to take the tip of that brush into the silver and just line the inner rim of my eye along my lower lash line. Just saw a spider on the wall. And of course I'll clean up later. That's why I've got no foundation on, and you can see that I've got nice dark bags because we've been so busy. So I am now going to take my eyeliner pencil and just start mapping out along my lash line. Now of course if you're younger than me, you don't need to worry about the wrinkly eyelids like I have, so you'll probably be able to do this much better than I can. And you just want to sort of work this pencil really slowly up into your crease. So we're just mapping out a shape basically for the eyeshadow to go on, and it sticks. So you can use black. Basically I would suggest whatever colour you're going with in the outer moon shape, that you use a base colour pencil that is sort of a similar colour family so that blends nicely together. We're also just going to take this on the outer edge of the eye, and then I'm taking a blending brush. Now this is out of the blending kit, so this is the exact blender, the E32 I think it is. So it looks like that. Just wait for my camera to focus. Yep, the E32. So I'm just taking that and I'm just working with that pencil and just blending it to ensure that it's nice and blended with no sort of sharp edges, if that makes sense. So just blending it around that curve and along my lower lash line. And this is a bit of work, this look. There's a lot of blending and a lot of going back in and retouching because you want to make sure blending is key. But if you're new and you're struggling to blend, this is probably a really good way to start because you can work slowly and work up the intensity. So just keep blending that pencil until you get, and you'll see I'm moving the brush, you know, to flick it in this way, and then I'm angling it this way and then going back around, and then of course under my lash line just to blend that out so that it's nice and soft and that the shadow is going to have something to stick to. You'll see I've brought it up because I've got hooded eyes so that when my eye is open you can actually see a bit of shadow at the top, or the pencil at the top. So now I'm going back in with a pencil brush. This just happens to be out of the Colour Payoff kit, but you can see my sweat, I do apologise. But it's just a pencil brush. It's an E30, well it's not just a pencil brush, but it's an E30. So there you go. Now I'm going back in with this crease colour from the Wet n Wild palette, the Blue Had Me at Hello. And I'm going to be working with this colour and then top it off with this colour. I want to go in with the lighter colour first so that I can blend it right out and it's not going to be quite so intense if I make a mistake or for blending purposes. So just basically running it around the lash line, and you want to keep it in that C section. So you just basically doing dots and laying the brush basically just over that pencil very, very softly, and then back along your lash line to keep that intensity, and then again just under your lower lash line. Then with a clean blending brush, and I always keep a tissue handy so I can just wipe off anything, you're just going to go in and you're just going to run that back and forth. Now because I've got no transition shade there, it's a little bit sticky, so I'm just going to gently pull on the corner of my eye, just ever so gently, so that when I blend, the brush can move this colour into my crease, which is going to help a lot. So you can see that colour's starting to move from that outer edge and giving me a nice gradient of colour through my lid. Now I only blend along that lash line and that bottom lash line once. That's all I do, because we're not sort of messing with it too much. So then just go back in with the pencil brush and a bit more of that blue, that same lighter crease blue. It's not actually the lightest blue in the palette, but it's the lightest crease colour in that blue. Had me at hello. And again, just pack that colour on round in that CV shape that you've got going. Back in with your clean blending brush. Again, wipe it off, because if you picked it up the first time and you were running it this way, and then you pick it up the second time and you run it this way, you're actually going to push the blue right up into this blank section here, which we don't want to do. So just clean that blending brush off and make sure that there's no colour on it, so that when you're doing the blending, you're blending with the clean brush every time. So you'll see that this is just about building up that intensity of the colour with just blending. So you go in with a bit, blend a bit, go in with a bit, blend a bit, until you're happy that you've got a nice colour running through your crease that isn't too harsh. There's no harsh lines. I would say there's no harsh lines, except basically for this colour that runs along your lash line and sort of disappears into your lashes. You do want that to be quite intense, just to give that intensity at the lashes. So a bit more, and this will probably be the last blend that I give it. And again, cleaning that blending brush off and just running that through. And voila. Now I'm just going to use two colours out of the Comfort Zone palette. So I'm going to use this eyelid colour and this brow bone colour, just to blend the blue just a little bit and to make it a little more of a gradient effect. So I'm going to go in with that more pinky colour, the second one from the top. And that is way too much. I'm not sure if you can see that. That is way too much on the brush. So you want to tap it off. And even brush it a bit on your tissue, just to get a little bit less. You'll see now, you can hardly see that there's any colour. Actually looks like there is no colour, but there definitely is colour. And then you just want to basically run that just over the top of where you've put that blue. So it's better to go in with not enough, because you can see that's added a touch of colour. But you're better off going in with not enough than too much. So again, I've just dusted that right off, so you can see, you can hardly tell that there's any colour on those bristles at all, and yet it is definitely laying down colour on my lid. So I just want that nice gradient, so that it basically just keep rinsing and repeating with those rainbow motions, so that you get a really nice gradient effect. So you can see that's starting to blend and transition now. Now I'm going into that brow colour, which is that creamy shade. And again, I'm just going to bump that off a bit. And I'm going to take this just up that bit higher to blend it into the brow shade that I've got. And then I'm just going back in with one tap of that white brow shade and just running it across my brow. Now I'll dip back in again one more time, because I want to take it down to lighten up the inside of my eyes. You can see I've done on this side, and anything that's left we'll tidy up with the makeup wipe. So now I'm going in with this dark dark, beautiful dark blue, because me being me, I like to darken up that color, that outer corner, and I am just going to run it. It's not quite where you'll see on this side. I've just sort of run it here and then up into the V just a touch, so I'm not actually running it that whole section. It's just a tiny bit on the outer V just to intensify that very, very outer corner and give it a bit more depth. So again, not right up into that crease, just a little into the crease so that it's blended, and I'm just sort of flicking the brush a little bit at the end, and then I'll also just take that darker colour right in the outside corner. So that is basically it. I'll just clean up with my makeup wipe. Now when you're cleaning up with the makeup wipe, it's a good time to clean up these edges and make sure that that eyeshadow is in line with your outer eyebrow and the outside of your eye. If you've gone down too low, don't forget just to wrap the wet wipe or the makeup wipe over your finger and just run it under your eye. Especially if your eye is a bit aged like mine, you sort of need to have that tautness to get a tidy line. And then the other thing that I do to make sure that it doesn't make the inside of my eyes look dark is I just get the wet wipe and run it up to my brow so that I've got a clean line with no sort of darkness on the insides of my nose. One last thing that I do to help with my brow colour is just go through my brows and make sure that there's no eyeshadow in my brows. You can certainly brush it off with your spoolie, but it certainly makes it much easier to do. Now we'll see if we can go the right way. Knew I'd do that. It's been so long. So that's just a quick idea on this cut crease look, just to give you an idea of how to do it. Great way to learn how to blend, great way to use colour, or you can just go for your really neutral colours like the one I posted yesterday. If you don't follow me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, I've posted them on all of those social media sites. All those links will be down below, and you can see the colour I did yesterday. So just something nice and easy for summer, but like I say, this has been my go-to look this week. I'm just going to take this blending brush and just blend this outer edge a bit. It's a bit too better. Was a bit too dark for me. So yeah, that's the eye look. So I am not doing mascara deliberately because I have a mascara that I want to do a review on. So that will be probably the next video. I'm not sure what order these will go up in, but you will certainly get to see mascara, and I'm going to definitely be doing the rest of my face also. So you know, makeup, foundation routine, and using some new products that I've got, because I have actually started using them because I didn't have time to do a haul. Anyway, enough rambling. Hope you're all doing really well. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, you can use any colours that you like. I just chose to use the Wet n Wild ones because I thought that a lot of people can get their hands on these, and they're good basic colours, and it gives you an idea of what you can use with just a couple of brushes and get a fabulous eye look. Plus, it's as I say, it's a great way to learn how to blend, because you're going from, you know, you're building up that colour as you go. So anyway, enough rambling. Hope you enjoy it. If you have, please hit the like button, because it means the world to me and it really helps me out. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Always makes my day. Hope you're all doing really, really well. Take great care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.